Welcome to Pull the Pin Already, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions of the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
But we promise we're going to enjoy giving them to you.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Mike. Let's pull the pin.
Pull
All
the
right.
pin.
That's right. That's right.
What do you feel like talking about?
I don't want to talk about anything with the media. I don't want to talk about anything with politicians.
Good. Let's talk about the media.
Oh, God. Okay. Jeez.
The reason I want to talk about the media is because, you know how I feel about the media. Obviously, I think you've got some sort of agreement. You know, we've been saying this for a while. The clickbait and everything that sells now, it's not even about the truth anymore. It's not even about challenging the government, because that's what we used to use to hold the government accountable. Now It's all about making money and getting clicks. But it was interesting because I heard about and noticed this list of media mistakes, I guess we can call them. It's written by Cheryl Atkinson. I don't know if you ever heard her, but she's a reporter. And it's 274 pages long, and it details every time the media was wrong and had to make a correction. And it's not all little stuff. You know, from the COVID stuff to the president stuff to all kinds of stuff. It's
right.
Yeah, 274 pages. And most of it's probably not even been apologized for, or it's been quietly done. Remember we talked about that, how they secretly go back and say, oops, we messed that up when nobody's paying attention.
Right.
So none of this is surprising, but I just found it really interesting that there's a detailed list and people can actually really go look themselves and see if the media is lying. You know, instead of believing that, oh, that's just somebody making it up. So I'm looking through some of this stuff that you probably remember. Mistake Melania Trump arrival date to Slovenia amid a flurry of reporting the question her immigration status from the mid-1990s. Or how about the time when they reported Donald Trump was playing golf when he was actually with the troops?
Yeah.
The MLK bust is still in the Oval Office. It was obscured by an opening in the door. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Like, it's just amazing that there's some of this stuff here. I mean, I look at the highlighted one. Trump picks to head CIA, did not oversee waterboarding in Abu Dhabi, whatever that word is. Remember, all these things, it's really funny. Putin denies having compromising information about President Trump, calls it nonsense. Well, I don't know if that was mistaken or not, just because Putin said it wasn't true. That one maybe I'd be questionable about.
Yeah.
But do you remember any other big ones? I mean, they're obviously on here. This is amazing. It goes, I mean, it lists the date and everything, and then the agency that reported it. Poland's first lady had refused to shake hands with Trump. It was updated to reflect that the first lady's handshake Trump, after all, as clearly seen on the video. Like, I think this is important because I think what happens a lot is when this fake stuff or the media lies goes out, people have such short memories. You know what I mean? They just say, oh yeah, I can't. Oh, that didn't happen. Or oh yeah, I remember that. Or they don't remember it.
I was about to say more likely you'll hear it. I don't remember that.
Right. I mean, there's the U.S. media suffered its most humiliating debacle in ages and now refuses all transparency over what happened. That was I reported Donald Trump's conspired with the WikiLeaks in advance of the publication.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Remember that, right?
Yeah.
It was already out 2 days before or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just, it's so funny because it's compiled. And when you see how long it is, it's just crazy. And how do you deny that?
Deny what?
Deny that the media's been lying and they're not fixed. Like, how does anyone have? I even heard, it was funny because I don't remember where I read it or heard it, but somebody said the U.S. media is the lowest media in the world, lowest trusted media in the world. Like, even countries that barely get media are trusted more than our media.
I don't know. That's interesting.
And here's the big question too. I mean, I could go through tons of this. Like New York Times issues correction on Trump rally crowd size after overlooking 4,500 attendees.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember that.
here's my bigger question, and it's always comes back to this. You know, we like to go to the backyard, or
Hmm.
bringing it to your yard or your house. Who are these media people? Like, do you really believe they're stupid? Like, at what point would you be embarrassed if you keep getting things wrong? Or are they just evil? Like, there has to be a point where you're like, or are they just passing the mistakes around from reporter to reporter? Like, oh, it's
Right.
your turn to make a mistake today. This is obvious that this stuff is common. So who are these people?
I don't know. And why do we give them so much power and influence? You know what I mean?
Right.
That would be my question. But they have an audience. That audience just happens to be, I would say, between, depending on what side of the fence. Well, it doesn't matter. I would say 50% of the population listens to social media, was it YouTube, whatever outlet there is, media outlet that is. They listen to them, and whatever they spit, they're gonna swallow it and then
Sure.
regurgitate it as truth.
Sure, the common
Yeah.
citizen, I get it. And I understand the technique to get the common citizen to buy into it. I get that. But why you, the media, if Mike James is a reporter and the Native American with the Covington kids, you know what I mean? They went and reported that Native American guy fought in Vietnam War or something.
Hmm.
Like, what is your job? Like, what is your job? Like, literally. Like, isn't your
Mm.
job to investigate or to report facts, or at least say, hey, we believe or we were told, but to report it as truth and then get egg in your face, like that would be embarrassing.
Yeah, but are we really still in the era of reporting the truth?
Well, no, 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 I don't think we are, but
Oh,
that's my
okay.
question. Why
Yeah.
have we shifted? Why have we shifted from a media that is supposed to be what keeps America in balance with our government? It's supposed to keep our government honest, which is
Yeah.
why I never had a problem with the Republican Democrat flip flop. Even though nothing got done because we kept kicking the can to the other street, but at least there was some sort of balance. And the media to me used to be that balance against the government, because it was always the media that was not for the partisan media against the president that
Hmm.
would be the most interesting to watch,
Right.
because it wasn't like they were lying. They were working really hard to dig up dirt.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people say if you listen to or watch media in different countries, when they report on the U.S., it's more truth to it because it's a
Right,
lot of things that's hidden. I remember when I
right.
was overseas, I see things on the news. I was like, "Hey, are you guys seeing this?" And they'd be like, "No." I'm like, "Wow!" But the news clippings that they see, certain things are edited out, which means what?
They're lying. They're deceiving
All of
them.
them, all of them
Yeah,
are in it together.
sure,
That's
sure.
that's that's what I try to tell people and show people is like they're all in it together. So if they're all in it together, but what do? They keep us divided.
Yeah. Oh, it always
Yeah,
trickles down to the bottom level
yeah,
because we're a bunch of idiots and we believe all this stuff.
yeah. We're gonna choose a side, you
Yeah.
know, and listen to them. They're telling us the truth. The other side is telling us a lie. It's just, and we buy it. We buy it. I don't get
Right.
it. So when
And
you
once
say
again,
that's why I laugh. Well, you said it was 274 pages. I thought you said 207 because the first question I asked you was, "That's it?" Because I'm
yeah,
sure you can find more, but you said 274. I'm still saying, "Oh, is that it?" You
right.
know, it's a whole lot more. That's the guy couldn't.
But so then what's the purpose? At what point, if you keep taking your car to the same mechanic and he ain't fixing a damn thing except he's breaking more stuff, what point do you stop going to the mechanic?
But he is fixing it. He just convinces you that, hey, you did need that new starter. I didn't know your alternator was bad at the time. Now you need a new alternator. Hey, you did
Hmm.
need a new alternator. Now you need a new battery. He's a damn good mechanic,
Hmm.
always fixing the problem. And that's what you have with these news outlets. They
Right,
are
because I
truth
walked in there.
telling. Yeah,
I walked in there and said, "Yeah, it might be my starter. Maybe my starter's going bad." Yep, you're right. Your starter's
yeah,
going bad,
yeah,
and you need a new alternator now too.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
You know, and something else goes wrong, I guarantee you they'll fix it when they should have
Right.
caught it the first time. But you know,
And
and
we
people
make
just buy it. They swallow all of that stuff, man. And just like I said before, I've been seeing it for years, man, and that's why it's so hard for me to go back to where I once was.
Yeah, and I get it because, like I said, I've said in the previous we talked about this. Just ask him why. Just ask that
Right.
one simple question. Jesse Smollett here. Jesse Smollett. I mean,
What was
why?
that?
Why?
Oh, is that the
You
guy
know,
from the he got beat
Chicago.
up?
Yeah, Trump.
Yeah,
Yeah, Trump territory.
yeah,
Yeah, they got beat up by the two Jamaican Trump guys.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
all you had to do right in the beginning of that is say, well, this don't make no sense. Why would they be there? Why would they do that? And there's a possibility they could be, right?
yeah.
There was a possibility all of that could have been true.
Yep.
But if you start asking why, the why can be answered and it lead to the next what why. But that doesn't, and eventually you just see this is nonsense.
Yeah.
And guess what? It was nonsense.
Yeah. It cost him his career. I hope it was worth it.
I don't think it cost him his career.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll be on
Hasn't
some
been in
other
anything
episode somewhere
since.
else.
Huh?
He'll be somewhere else. He'll be on some other episode somewhere else. I just heard him. He was in a part of a song or something that I
It's
didn't
been
even
an
know he
old song,
sang.
dude. He hasn't done anything, man.
He hasn't done
He
anything
had
since.
no.
Maybe he's working with.
No one's
Maybe
gonna
he's on.
touch that one.
Maybe he's on Bubba Wallace's pit crew.
Yeah, could be, but
Right.
no one's touching that one, man. No one's not right now. He needs a good 5 to 7 more years before anyone.
People forget him.
Yeah,
Speaking of, just a side note, you saw Bill Cosby's charges were dropped.
yeah. I thought it was some kind of prank or whatever. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It,
Did you
anyways,
read why?
no, I didn't.
Oh, the media, they crucified that guy,
Right.
and they had all the facts at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they
Right.
didn't.
So,
Here we go, talking about the media
well,
again.
either the media. Well, this is what this show's about, right?
Yeah, right.
You're allowed to talk about it now.
Right.
But see, that's the example, like you were talking about. Like even if they had a fact, I mean, I get it. Maybe they thought this was true, that was true. You just state where it comes from. You just say, Mike James told me this,
Yeah.
and then Mike James has to answer for it.
Nah,
You know
they
what I
can't
mean?
do that. They can't do that.
Why?
That costs too many people their jobs, their livelihood. Because
Yeah, but if you're willing,
you go ahead.
if you're willing to own up, if you're willing to say it, you better be willing to own it.
This is America. No, people are not willing to own it.
Well, right, where they're not, but they
Yeah.
should, right?
Yeah, they should.
Just like a whistleblower. I mean, I understand protecting whistleblowers, but they can't be anonymous.
Right. Well, I think they're anonymous to us, but the actual
Right.
investigating agency, they're not.
Sure, but at some point when it comes out and charges are brought and the case goes forward, they're gonna have to testify.
Yeah, and they
So
do.
they're not going to remain anonymous,
Right.
right?
Right.
So
And
I
some of them
understand
they get
protecting them.
on the cover of magazines.
Right.
Yeah, they do. So I don't have a problem with whistleblowers myself.
No, I don't either. I
Yeah.
don't either. And that's what we're talking about the media too. There's some stuff surfacing about Assange. What was his name? The one guy that leaked all that stuff.
Oh, wiki.
The one guy, somebody in the chain of custody or somewhere admitted lying about things in that case to make him look guilty.
Oh,
Somebody just confessed to that. I didn't get the whole story, but like I said, I got it in passing, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
wow.
But so that's not the media, that's our government lying, but you get it.
Oh, second favorite topic.
Right. So it's about lying, right? So we just talk
Yeah.
about lying. Who comes up? Government,
Yeah.
media,
Government, media, government. Stop right there.
family.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no, family don't lie.
Government, media, government, and all who support and believe in it.
Right, and just like I said too, though, that the government and the media is made up of people.
Yeah.
Like it just baffles me. Like when I hear something like, okay, let's say I'm partisan, whatever. Call me partisan. Say I'm whatever. But when I hear somebody spouting what I believe are facts, right? Even if they're not, you listen to them and you say, well, does that make sense? Like we did on a previous show about Tucker Carlson, Now, maybe if I'm biased to Tucker, I say, okay, well, it sounds like he's telling the truth. Even if he was lying, all you have to do is say, well, why? Is this possible? Did they? Could we find out? You know what I mean? All you have to do is ask. Even if you don't like the guy, listen to him and then ask. Because we did this before. Because if you find out the truth, it does one of two things. It either reconfirms your belief or it makes you look in a different perspective.
Right.
What's the harm in that? There is no harm in reconfirming your belief.
I agree 100%.
So when I'm asking, when we're talking about the media, I don't care if you're biased. I don't care. You're going to have your bias. You're going to have your prejudices, whatever the heck they are. You like vanilla ice cream over strawberry. I don't care. Report what's in the strawberry ice cream regardless. Then you could say, well, I'm not a fan of it, but this is what's here. I don't understand why it's so difficult. This is made up of people. Are like these jobs attracting horrible people? Are these people actually horrible? Or are they just blatantly confused? I mean, do the government and the
Keep
media
going.
stick something in their food and make them like oblivious?
Or were they
Are
nice
all
people,
high?
but once maybe they were nice, honest people, but once they joined this organization or agency, it corrupted them. And they did it so they can survive. Survive being they can maintain their livelihood. Some
So
people would consider that to be selling your soul, but hey, call it whatever you want.
well, you know, and I'm okay. I'll even go down that road and I'll buy that theory because I get it. Like, I mean, survival, I will do what it takes to feed my family. I get that. I think, though, that that's very narrow-minded to think that's the only way to survive. I
Yeah.
think
Okay.
if I have to keep this media job to feed my family, then that's narrow-minded. Because what happens if you lose your job? Then what? Do you just, go out to the forest and, you know what I mean? Like, what happens? If you've put all your eggs in that basket, that you're willing to sell your soul, you're willing to do all that, then you clearly have no faith or confidence in your own abilities to make any money or make ends meet.
There
Is
you
that where
go.
we're at? Is
Yeah.
that where we're at? The whole
Yeah.
entire
That's
population
yeah.
of people?
You just hit the nail on the head there, buddy. You hit
Oh,
the nail. Matter of fact, I gotta write that one down. Yeah. Uh-huh.
that that is sad.
Majority of people are dumb as a. What was that again, Jim?
My pet rock.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, that's proof of it right there. People bought my pet rock. You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember
Yeah.
that old
Yeah.
pet rock? People bought
Yep.
it.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess people are pretty dumb. And we're supposed to be the most intelligent species on this planet.
Hey, you take the worst one of us is still smarter or more intelligent than anyone below
Yeah.
us or anything below us. So they say.
Hey, boo boo.
Yeah.
Let's go get us a picnic basket.
So do you think this is just as far as the media goes, you think this is just bad when it came to Trump, or do you think no matter who the president was, you can find 274 or 200 plus pages of inconsistencies, bad reporting, or whatever?
Well, I go back to my original statement and why I was a fan of Trump. Because I
Hmm.
think this stuff has been going on. I think the whole Bush war, the 9/11 stuff, like I think it's all been going on. I just think Trump was the magic pill that brought it all to the surface.
Mm.
I think he, if nothing else, if you don't like the guy, his policies or anything, I do believe that Trump exposed the curtain. I believe he pulled the curtain back so everyone can now choose for themselves. Do you want the truth or do you want to keep picking your team and just believe what you believe? That's what I think. Otherwise, people were ignorant to it and said, well, no,
You're frozen there, Jim.
oh, because I said CNN never lied. Is that what froze me? CNN's listening. But you know what
We're
I'm
gonna
saying?
show him.
Right. Well, people that ignorant to believe it before, well, now new truth is exposed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people now have to look at what's before them and say, okay, I can choose to not believe this, or I can question my beliefs as they are. And I always believed in that, Mike. I always, just like, people say, like, don't bring your problems on other people, stuff like that.
Right.
If you need something, if you need help, if you're like, if you're a dog, seeing your dog and you need something and you do not bark, then people can ignore you. Right? But if you bark, then people have to go, I can ignore it or I can do something about it. So clearly,
And
saying
if
something puts people in that position where they have to make a decision.
and if I were to do something about it, Peter would be on our case right about now.
Right, right. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You
I get
don't
what you're
have to
saying.
do
It's like,
that. But I'm saying if you don't present another look or another option, people won't have to choose and they can easily just say, oh, well, I trust the media. They never let me down before.
right.
So I think Trump managed to do that. He managed to pull back the curtain and convince a lot of people that you need to start questioning what you're seeing and hearing.
Really?
I think so. I think
No?
people.
Okay.
I think so. Because we already knew nobody trusted the media, but we had no idea to what extent the media would go to lie about somebody, to do things about people. I mean, it's right here, and they've redacted or not redacted. They've retracted a lot of it. So clearly, they knew they were lying, or maybe they didn't, and they're just really stupid people.
Well, just because you believe something to be true at this time and later on you find out that it's not, that doesn't mean you're stupid.
Correct, but if you do
Right.
that a lot, I think you're stupid.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
How many times could you discover something new without learning from the last time?
Well, well, first and foremost, we all know there's media bias there, right? So if you have a bias, and then Jim comes to me, he's a well-respected journalist, reporter, whatever, and he says, "Hey, I got this story on Biden and my organization, and we lean right. So if it's something negative on Biden, we're going to trust you and your sources, and then you go with it." Now you're saying that if I do that again with another reporter that I trust and another one I trust, and we get the same result, we're stupid.
Well, I'm saying if it turns out it wasn't true
Right. That's what I'm saying.
and you keep doing it, hoping it to be true, then
Right.
then either you maybe not be stupid. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because they're either evil or stupid. Because you can't fall for that many times. At some point, even if you were a diehard Democrat, at some point you're like, wait a minute, this libertarian thing's sounding a lot better. At
Right.
some point, you were not stupid to keep going down the same path that led to the same place.
I'm glad you admitted that.
What? That you weren't stupid?
No, that you're stupid because you keep going down the same path. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and
Yeah.
I do think there was a bias there, but um, I do believe that that bias didn't start with him, and it wasn't that bad with him, even though you have the 274 pages, because there's a whole lot out there on his predecessors.
No, no, and you know what I contribute? I think it's the same thing as what social media has done to us. I think when me and you were children, there were serial killers, probably a lot, or people kidnapping a lot of people, but
Yeah,
we didn't hear about it. So
right,
now and today, we don't let our kids out because all we do is hear about it.
right, right,
So I think
right.
the same thing you're saying. The media bias has probably always been there because as long as there's been money, there's been evil. So at some point, it's just now being exposed by more people because there's more money to be made on the other side
Yeah, I
too.
guess you could say that about anything that's real hot in the news today, like police shootings and things of that nature. It's been always been going on. It's just people on the East Coast didn't know really what was going on in the West Coast, at least until the day after.
Right,
When it came out in the newspaper, and
right,
not all incidents, whether it's police shootings, gang violence, or whatever it may be, not all of them reached the newspaper. You know what I mean? So,
right,
even if you did read every paper or whatever, you didn't hear about everything. But now on social media with the internet, you can hear about damn near everything.
right. And there's more chances now. It's saturated with information. Now
Yeah,
there's more chances to put out fake information, and we know it exists. Like it's existed since
absolutely.
the man has become man. Nobody wants to, admit, but we've always had wherever something was created for good, there was always someone to take it for evil, and
Right.
there's always some opposing power, even in companies, even Coke versus Pepsi. Even though I don't drink either one or endorse either one, they're always competing. They're always, willing to jump on. Oh, what? this company had something. Oh, you better report that. Yeah, or even lying about it. There's always been that stuff.
Right.
So it's human nature, I guess. I would embarrassingly say that we can't just get along and everybody have a win-win situation. There's always a win-lose, win-lose, win-lose everywhere you turn. We're not
Yeah.
into the win-win business, which is what is unfortunate. But that's what I think the media is doing now. And the media is competing against social media. I mean, let's be real. I would rather get my news from YouTube. Sorry, as much as I hate YouTube, those people doing investigations, sitting down doing research, they're not going to a boss and saying, hey, are we allowed to report about this? Hey, can we
Right.
say this? They're going out and they're finding what they know and they're reporting it.
Yeah, but on the
So,
flip side of that, you do have those people who don't have an editor or whatever to get it looked over, so
right.
they just go out there and put
Sure.
out anything.
And that's where I tell you, I would be an idiot if I went to the same source, turned out he was wrong. Oh, okay, he got that one wrong, but at least he admitted it. Then turned out he got the next one wrong. Oh, he got that wrong. At some point, you got to stop believing him, right? At some point,
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
there
I
is
agree.
YouTubers out there that make a lot of money, and they
Hmm.
just talk trash.
Yeah.
Like even what little I know about the things we talk about makes more sense than these people, but they're making lots of money just talking.
Right.
And it's sad. I mean, whatever. I'm not going to bash him because I could name him right now if I wanted, but I'm not going to bash him because it's people like it. People like it, but it's just sad.
Yeah.
So maybe you should start talking about things you know about. Okay, that was a good conversation.
That means I don't know anything.
Exactly. All right, you ready to pull the pin on this
Yeah,
one?
that's bullshit.
Media gets my blood boiling, and I wish, like I said, if it wasn't for not even social media, if it wasn't for actual independent journalists out there putting themselves on whatever platform, I don't even know how we would get our news anymore.
Remember back in the
So,
day, independent journalists used to sell their stories to newspapers and
right,
magazines. Yeah.
right,
Yeah. Now they just say the hell with that. I'm going on social media.
right.
They created their own form, if you will.
Yeah, and you know what? We should defund the media.
Don't get me started.
Defund the media
Yeah.
and let
Yep.
people earn their keep.
Yep.
You earn
I
it by the
agree.
views and the truth. If you put out the truth, you start putting out lies, people stop watching it. And stop letting airports and other places just put it on TV.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
all right. So
Defund the media. I like that.
we'll pull the pin on the media, defund the media, and then we'll go into our favorite segment, pull the pin, person of the week, or just a shout out. What you got today? Or you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
All right, good, because I'm going to go to one of those places that do show those sorry CNN channels quite often. Back at the
CNN?
VA hospital.
Oh.
The VA hospital. I was there recently, and I noticed this sign at the check-in thing, and the sign was about patient confidentiality. Stand back behind this line to respect it. Right? We don't want to be hearing other people's stuff and their private things, right? So when you stand behind the line and the guy at the counter is standing behind a plastic shield with a mask on and a lady behind the shield with her mask on, you don't think I can hear what's going on? All of them are screaming because nobody can hear each other.
Yeah.
So what do you have a sign for? Or why don't you put the sign another 30 feet back? Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is the stupidity that it glares. It's right in your face. Like, are you kidding me? Like, did you even read the sign before you came into work today? But maybe they don't. Maybe they sit behind their glass shield and don't even realize it's happening. And then,
Lost you, Jim.
well, then go on with yours, Mike.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, I'm done with it. I'm pulled the pin. You can go ahead on with yours.
How'd you finish?
I'm done. These people with these signs, they don't
Oh,
work.
okay.
Get your head out your butt. Go read the sign. Go listen to people at the counter. Realize you can hear everything. So it doesn't matter how far you are back.
Mm. Today I had a person at the gas station get out of her car and she had a mask on. She didn't put the mask on. She had the mask on in the car. And she got out of the car, continued to wear the mask. And I'm pumping gas and she's looking at me. I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" She's like, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Why are you using a towel when you pump gas?" I said, "Oh, I just want to protect others." And she said, "Huh?" I said, "Yeah, I want to protect others." And she's like, "How is that protecting people?" I said, "Why are you wearing a mask?" Only thing she said was, "Touche. Good to know. Thank you." And she got it. Now, the average person, they would have wanted to back and forth and everything, but that's why they say they wear the mask, right? They protect others. So that's why I put a piece of cloth around the handle of the gas station at the gas pump. Protect others. I didn't have on a mask because no one was around me. So I still wanted to do my part and protect others. But the reason why I say I want to pull the pin, not on her, but the people who always question what other people are doing. Just because you don't want to do it, STFU. Shut the up. You know, if you really believe, and this is what I don't get with these people, because to me, they really believe if everyone was like them, the world would be a better place. And I'm totally against that. I like the world of different people, and I get to learn more. Because if the world was just like Mike here, I think we would have nuked it by now.
It would have nuked itself probably.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So yeah, and
You would have hit the button. You know what I
right.
mean? So just accept everyone for their differences, different beliefs, and everything. And when you don't, those are people I pull the pin on. Yep.
Yes, and I think you had that story a little mixed up. You were protecting you,
No.
but I'm going to let you
Nope.
STFU while we close
Nope.
out this show.
Nope. I was
Thank you all for
protecting
joining us.
everyone
Thanks
else.
for watching us. If you were worried about other people, you'd had your mask on too, because you could have spit on the handle just as easy as you could have transferred it with your hand.
I
So
couldn't
get
spit
your
on
suit
it
on and
because
get there.
I had the towel around it, so I couldn't spit on it.
Well, you can spit on the rest of it.
Damn, man.
STFU, let's move on.
That's
That is all the time
that's a
we have for this
long
episode.
handle though. That's a lot of. How about the buttons on the keypad? Okay.
Exactly. Did you put a tissue on them?
Yeah. Well, I'd always put it around my finger like that, and then I touch it.
What about your knuckles on the other fingers?
Nah, I don't do anything with that. That's in my
Oh.
pocket. STFU, let's go.
Thank you. And that is all the time we have for this episode. We hope you enjoy what we got to say. We hope you comment, like, share, subscribe. Go to www.pullupinalready.com and get on your veteran. Get on here. And
All
until
right.
then, Godspeed.
Hey, and put a pin.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.